Alright guys, what's up and welcome back. Now we're going to go through the other test hand. So this will probably be the last test hand because I'm going to use the PK version. Just a straightforward reason why, even though this deck is more consistent, you genuinely require the power to keep up with majority of meta decks. So let's begin first test hand. My apologies. No, you can play with both Ash and Nibiru with this hand. And I think that's what I'll do for you, everyone. First, I'll activate Time Gazel. Then I'll activate Duelist Alliance, assuming my opponent will Ash. You have some persons who are apparently the greatest persons on this planet that say they won't Ash here, so I will just pretend like they're actually correct. Because I don't know what they would do if I didn't have Pen Call, because I wouldn't need it. But since everyone's a super genius, let's just let them have their way. Pen Call Darkworm, the Ash here, let's grab. And then we'll get our two magicians. So we'll get off, and we'll be able to get White Wing. You can scale off immediately, it doesn't change anything. Darkworm effect to summon itself. Darkworm's next effect, the only gate 0 in my deck that I magically didn't draw. From here, you can normal summon. Link. We're going to our Hulk first. Use effect. And we'll summon our level 1 tuner from the deck. Where is it? So yeah, there you go. Then we'll summon our Celine. Now, please be warned that this is your 5th summon. So they can nib here. But truly you don't care. Because you haven't pen summon yet. And when you pen summon, you're going to go crazy on them. Celine is going to get some counters. We're going to use effect. And let's say they Nibiru here. Because if you go any further, you're going to summon Apollozo. And they can't nib you again. So we get the token, they get Nibiru. Not really a fair trade-off, but this is Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not about being fair, it's about who spends the most money. Moving on. So we'll use Oath Dragon to get back our White Wing to hand. Then it's time to Pendulum someone. Notice where I summon the White Wing. Harm effect. And you get your level 7 to the field. Let's go into our borrow first. So White Wing is gone because Konami just put some stupid restrictions on the card for no good reason. Good reason for them, not for us. Your Boral has 3 counters. You want me guys to give you a fun fact? White Wing's effect on this card is an incorrect effect. Because in TCG, it is mandatory for it to negate. While in OCG, it is not. It was never supposed to be mandatory for it to negate. So if they target a card, it will negate it. Sad. Anyways, moving on. From here, you can make your absolute. Your absolute and Nibiru token will make your Cross Sheep. Absolute effect. Summon Vortex. Now Cross Sheep effect goes off. I'll get to summon back my Tuning Magician. I will now use both of these to go into our second Celine. I'll use Celine's effect to pull back our Dragon Color. Synchro with both into Igazela. This will be the second to last opportunity. So Tune Magician effect to summon back herself. And we'll link. Tune Magician is now banished. And we'll get our Apollosa to the field. Iggy's effect. I'm going to summon Luster. Link on up. LP. Help his effect. Should be winning in this position. Not saying you have to win, but kind of hard for you to lose. So yeah, you got full setup through Nib, through Ash. Normally Ash would be the more annoying one because it would block you from searching. But the Nib is no longer issue for Pendulums. If you play this version at least. So yeah, that's a thing. Next test hand. Alright guys, next test hand. I give it a proper shuffle. Hopefully I don't break on camera. Hopefully I don't try to gate 0 either. Great card. Very good. And here it begins. Please be any form of darkworm. Yes! Alright. So this is it. This is full combo. Shout out to the guys who refuse to negate Shrine. So darkworm is going to be sent because I unfortunately drew the Pendragon effect, summon itself, effect, and gate 0. Unfortunately, this one you can't play through the Ash and Nibiru, but you can play through one of them. Let's pick the more challenging obstacle of playing through the Nibiru, which is actually damn well easy. It's really easy. So yeah, we're going to add harmonizing, and we can add white wing. Sorry, my sinus is really going off. These two are perfect, and yeah. So open scale, Chrono and scale. We really don't need to have Chrono doing that. So let's put our time gazer in scale. Summon your white wing, and yeah. Actually, I'm not going to pretend like I'm playing through Nibiru. I just did that just wrong. So let's go about the not getting Nibiru path. So you guys just saw that. So you wouldn't be learning anything new from the deck if I really did it again. So here, Selena Gomez. We don't have to pull back as yet, but let's do it just in case. The pro play is to always make your Apollosa first. That way they understand how we're going to interact. They're not going to Nibiru me and get away with it. So yeah. Now it's time to Pendulum someone. You don't have to Pendulum everything, but it's really nice if you do. So yeah. I think I have everything I really need for the Pendulum summon. But why not? Why not take a crazy chance? Harmonize effect. Why not do a crazy dance? If you live for the moment, you might lose a lot. So why not? Why not? I could actually show you a really cool play, but I'm just going to stick to the script first. I was going to show you guys a really cool play, but I'm going to stick to the script. I'll tell you guys later. No, do not synchro with these first as yet. Let's synchro with these two. We can go into our board early. Doesn't change anything. And you get to strap up with your Selena Gomez. These two, white wing is banished on fourth. On fourth. Then from here, tuning effect, pull back, synchro. Tuning is banished. It's funny how you have so much banished monsters at the end of everything, every single time. You will summon that there. Iggy effect. We will summon our Draco Slayer. You get to link off into your LP. Helpless effect. Summon sloth. There you go. Mamma mia. Anyways, this was really cool, to say the least. So yeah. This is the board, which is pretty normal. And it beats a majority of meta decks. Example is Dragon Links. They'll just draw and end their turn. A lot of other decks loses to this. By the way, off, add back your harmonizing. Anyways, what I really wanted to show you guys was a neat little trick that I came up with. And this is only if you have full setup. So let's put back the monsters on the field. So, had White Wing. We have, where is it? Darkworm. What else? Harmonizing and Gate 0. Now, what I could have done to make the play was that instead of summoning Celestial Magician, I could have someone double Iris. Right? Now, I'll use these two to go into Ignister as before, but it's a little bit different. The corner flag is alright. It's okay, because you don't really have the field space to go anywhere anyways. I didn't want to summon it in the corner though. Yeah, the corner was actually really bad. I really don't want to summon there. But anyways, I didn't put up the monster zones properly. So you could actually use your 2D Magician, Synchro Summon early, go into your Boral, equip your Celine. You could use Effect now to get your... Apologies, where's your Draco Slayer? I just had it in front of me. From your deck with your Ignister. You could then pop this. It's going to be banished because Harmonizing summoned it. Shuffling your Harmonizing. Get your Time Pendulum graph. And then you do the lock with LP for Goliath. In other words, I would exchange out this for Sloth. The Sloth lock is actually better because majority of decks can't out it. And then you'd have your Time Pendulum graph to protect yourself if they try to attack. And the Boral is still there, Boral is Boral. So that's just a neat little trick. Let me show you guys one more combo. Alright guys, the third and final test hand. Yeah. So, I don't know. What do you guys think as the most competitive version of Pendulums? Like, a lot of persons told me to try Zephro. I didn't like it. And I thought it was going to be the best Pendulum deck, but the real reason why everyone wants you to play Zephro is because the trap card that negates Dark Ruler was searchable. And that's the only reason. So in other words, I picked on that players would only play it because it has an out. Which is not really a good reason. Like if Dark Ruler beats you, Dark Ruler beats you. That's what I see it at least. There are ways for me to counter Dark Ruler and I don't try the extreme route to stop it. Because if you're only going to play against Dark Ruler, what happens if someone does Sphere Mode? Like Sphere Mode right now in the meta is like the most busted form of removal. I don't know how people talking about Dark Ruler. The only person why people hate on Sphere Mode is because it consumes your normal summon. But like it's totally worth it. Well, in Pendulum decks it's worth it because I don't have to use my normal summon to kill them. Please be Darkworm. Jesus have mercy, no. I'm don't having the extra level 7 in my deck. So I can't make a play with this. I could only end on 2 months in the gates and that's it. So yeah, let's shuffle up. I really don't want to play that hand. It doesn't make any sense because I don't play 2 level 7s. If I did, it would have made a lot of sense. And I think I'm going to cut Call by the Grave. There's never an opportunity where I drew it and it would be like, okay, this card is good. It's never been good. Never treat me well. So I think I'm going to cut it. I know like person going to be like, oh, what are you talking about? Like on paper, Call by the Grave is really good. in duels it's not that good because it's a 1-for-1, so it's almost like they still got the card. But like with call by versus apologies, Ash versus pen call, because you're discarding a card, it stings. But if I was to do a 1-for-1 card, it doesn't affect me. So that is why Ash never used to bother Pendulum decks. And you used to have, of course, Electromite to save the day. Okay, Drew. This hand is not a good hand. I can still play Yu-Gi-Oh with it, but it's not a good hand. I don't know. I'd love to see what the 6th card was. Trash. Anyways, we don't really have a choice. Let's duel. So this is the final node. Let's anchor it. The extra level 7 needs to be in the deck. If it was, this would be straight out of space I'd be at right now. So anyways, let's carry on. So we get 2 adds here. We of course can add, well, there's not really much options here. Let's just live with the brick. That's a good add. And you're a good add in this position. Actually, white would have been good as well, but doesn't matter. Like, you can't really do much to change this up. You scale up, pop your chrono, go into time gazel. Off cannot be used as it, unfortunately. Pendulum summon. Center field is good for you. Harm effect. I'll get the level 7 from deck. So this just anchored it for me. I'm going to play 2 level 7s. Unfortunately, Harm is the only tuner here. So Harm is the only one that I can really use to make a play. So we're going to go into our Electromite first. Apologies, not Electromite. Hulk. We're going to summon our Hulk first. And use this effect to summon tune in. Link on up, Celine. Celine's effect. We're going to synchro someone into our Ignister. We can now use Iggy's effect. Someone lost though. Use Oath. Get back harmonizing. Normal summon, celestial effect. Then we can secret summon. Borrow. From here we can use Ignisto, pop, and shuffling. That way you can get effect and get the trap card. Then you can link on up, go into your LP. We can use the LP's effect, summon a sloth. So it wasn't the most perfect of hands, but I just did what I could. Actually made a slight misplay. You're supposed to summon this back first before you shuffle it and then make your Apolloso. So this should really be the real end board. Please remember in the end phase you're going to get a search. So I don't want you to think like, oh, you're complete loss. No, that's not the case. End phase search. So you'd have a scale to scale up again. The time pendulum graph is there to eat them up. 2 monster negates, and they can't attack first because you have the time pendulum graph, and you have borrow to negate any random cards that would out this board. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, and I'm out. Have a great day.